Everybody, how's it going? How's everybody doing this evening? It is Thursday. We are almost at the weekend. Very, very close. Hope everybody's had a great week so far. And hope you're... yeah! Oh, here we go. Okay, Quinn's here. Quinn's here, everybody. Quinn's here. All right, let's say hello to everybody in the chat here. We got Dave R's Guitars, not able to catch the live show, catch the replay. Well, thanks for checking in, Dave. Buddy R2R3's in here. Hey, man. Todd Flowers. Ben Coombs. Hey, man. How you doing? Who else we got in the house? Terry Himes. Welcome. Paul Lou's in here. Hello, how you doing? Eric, EVH and Gear TV Network. Thank you so much for being here. That's awesome. Charles Green is here. Okay. The new guitarist. Hey, the new guitarist. Welcome. Just making sure catching everybody. Charles Green. Okay. A bunch of new people popped in there right at the end, though. Joe Hervey 84. How are you? Nocturnal Butterfly. Welcome. Is it Oil Lid? Hope I'm saying your name right. Oil Lid. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Ben Henry, nice to see you. Cool. Okay. I think I got everyone. Scott Connor is here. Hey, Scott. Okay, I think I got everyone. Braxel. I'm doing well, Braxel. Who are you? Okay, here comes a Quentin shout out. Okay, cover your ears, folks. It's going to get loud. 1, 2, 3. Quentin! There you go. Wow, it just jumped. Hey, Dave's Guitar Channel. Oil Ken Harry? I haven't heard that in a long time, man. Cheddar is in here. Hey, Cheddar, how are you, man? Lost Smoke, Fred Fritch. Wow, everybody's popping in. Will Varela. This is very cool. Pronounced Waleed. Thanks for clearing that up. I never would have got that from the spelling, man. Like, never. Hey, Johnny Beane. Johnny Beane is studio bound. That is cool. Okay. I think Ivan Carter. Okay. I think I got Gussie Wells. As soon as I say that, I missed somebody. Okay, Bobby Lopez. All right. Welcome, everybody. I think I've got everybody. So, hopefully you're all doing well and you've had a great week. And speaking of which, Aaron Songs just popped in. Hey, Aaron. So, a couple of things on my mind this week. I guess most notably, as everyone has been talking about, you know, the rollout. Hey, Todd Graff, the rollout of the new Gibson, specifically the new standards. So I've managed to play a few at this point, and I did a video last week, and that video's got nuts, man. It's like I'm approaching 900 views on that video right now, which is amazing. And it was the 60s one that I played. It was what the hell was that? An iced tea, I believe, was the finish on that. Hey, welcome, Stephen S. And I tell you, man, it hopefully comes through in the video, but I absolutely love that guitar. I thought it sounded really, really good. And you know, it felt good. It played well. It was a terrific guitar. And I said, you know, if anyone is in the market for a Les Paul, man, that was, you know, if you're in the GTA, go to the North York Long McQuaid, and if it's still sitting there, man, that's like one of the best Les Pauls I've ever played. It was absolutely fantastic. So that being the very first one I ever picked up, I was like, wow, you know, it's true. What they say is true. All of the new ones are going to be great. They're all going to be fantastic. They're all going to be on par with this because, you know, that's what everyone is saying. And that's sort of the marketing out there and everything else. And everybody, of course, you know, hopes for the best. with the new, the new CEO and all, and JC and all that sort of thing, and hiring Mark Ignazi and so on and so forth. Well, I was under that impression myself until I played the second one, and I'll tell you, the second one was the Bourbon Burst, which is actually the one I'm a little more interested in color wise, anyways, because it's a closer to the Tobacco Burst, and I really like the Tobacco Burst. And I tried that one out, and took some pictures. And if you're not aware, I have a Guitar Hack Facebook page, and the link is below. You should check that out. I took some real close up photos of it. And if you look close up, you can kind of see right away what I'm talking about when it comes to the burst. The bursts on Les Pauls have to be perfect. Especially the teardrop bursts. And if you don't know what I mean by a teardrop, there's two kinds of bursts. Okay. On Les Paul guitars, there's what you call the teardrop, which basically means the lighter part of the guitar is the shape of a teardrop. It's sort of like that. Here, here, I'll show you. Okay, that's a teardrop. You see the clear there? Now this is a light burst, so it's probably hard to see, but you can see that it's sort of dark up here, and then it lightens up. Okay, and you have this sort of teardrop shape. Okay, so that's a teardrop burst. There, you'll probably see it better that way. All right, that's a teardrop. And the teardrops, they're difficult to do because you get a lot of overspray sometimes on this part. The darker part, sometimes it comes a little bit too low. It shouldn't really go past that pickup. It should really open up right there, right at the edges of that pickup. And a lot can go wrong with the teardrop, and I get it. It takes a lot of time, but again, that's really what you're paying for when you're buying a burst. You want that nice teardrop, right? So that's one type of burst, and I think this is the harder one to mess up. The other one is something called a perimeter burst, which I don't have an example of those because I'm not really fond of those. I prefer the teardrop burst. But the perimeter burst basically means that it's only dark on the edge. Like, so basically this edge here, okay, goes all the way around the guitar on the edge. So you don't get this darker part here. It just is dark on the edge. Okay. And that's called the perimeter burst. And those obviously are not, I think they'd be easier to do and not as hard. So, but the new standards are all teardrop burst because that's the sort of the original, the traditional looking burst. And this one, it must have been done either very early Monday morning or very late Friday evening because there was like a clear line going down this side. Okay, like it was clear. Like from a distance, you won't see it, but when you look up close, there was a line going down this side, almost like it was sort of. And it was hard to describe. It's like it kind of broke up the whole look of the burst. It wasn't done well at all. Okay, um, as far as the rest of it, the fit and finish, the binding, if you're familiar with Les Pauls, you know where you're going to find problems. It's going to be in the neck pocket right here. You're going to see glue sticking out. You're going to see rough. It's going to look rough around there. You'll see it on the ah, I'm drawing a blank here. This thing, drawing a blank on the name. But anyway, you're gonna see it there on the nut. There we go. It's the nut. You're gonna see it there. You're gonna see it in the binding because the binding is kind of is hand done where it's stuck out around the frets. You're gonna see it there. There's all those telltale places. Now, the two that I've seen as far as the finishing have been good, really, really good. Like I found no flaws in it. Um, but but I would actually not mind a little bit of, you know, extra glue or not clean up at the neck joint. I wouldn't mind that if my burst was perfect, but the burst was not. It was bad. And the guitar did not play nearly as well as the one I played 2 days earlier. So again, we're back to hit and miss, right? You know. Um, so there was that. And then you know, there's a lot of talk about the weight relief and this and that, there's no weight relief. Well, I picked up a much better guitar than that at that same store, which was a 2019 classic. that I had actually played before. That's another story. And it was weight relieved, yet it was a heavier instrument, and it was just a better guitar than the new standard. So there you go, folks. So um, they can't all be good, and and I get it, and I don't think they should be marketing it that way, that they've reinvented the wheel. I mean, there's gonna be duds. And I mean, I saw, like, I went from, like, the one of the best Les Pauls I've ever played to a dud in the same line. So there you go. So Gibson is still Gibson, and I'm not saying that they're shit. I think every guitar has that. I've played great Fenders and I played bad Fenders, the same model, same everything. So it's just, it's across the board. But you know, Gibson still, you got to play them. You got to find the right one, because they're not all good. And I've been yakking a lot, and I've missed a whole bunch of the chat and a lot of people that popped in. So let me get back in here. Hey, Frank Corcoran, how are you? Todd Graff, welcome. Sean Zimmerman, how are you? Brad Miller, Gibson Ninja. That would make a great T-shirt. Gussie Wells, if I haven't said hello, hello. Okay, if there's any questions or comments for me, let me know. Guitar Hack, what was wrong with the actually guitar? And I think they're going to be diff, and even in the, yeah. Oh no, the finishes are going to be different, and they're going to have more flame, less flame. I get that, but the burst was not well. It wasn't done well. So that was the whole thing. Is it so? Yeah, yeah. Waleed, yeah, the silver burst. Yeah, that would really show it off, because it's going to be black on the outside. Yeah, that would be a good illustration of the of what a teardrop looks like. Hey, Brian Cote is here. Okay, dry heat. Hey, man. Okay, I'm just looking for comments. Sean Zimmerman, I think some people are just too picky at times, but I am too, especially with expensive guitars. But I think that's a little picky about the burst fades to each other, to each their own. Someone else might like the it okay, Sean, it wasn't that I didn't like it, it wasn't done correctly. It was a mistake. It was a mistake, and that should never have been released. That should be B stock. It was a mistake on the finish. It's not that I didn't like the finish, that it was oversprayed or undersprayed or any of that, because some people like it darker. It had nothing to do with that. It was literally a mistake. So, um, okay, just catching up here. Are you sure it wasn't a darker part? Just reacting to the rest of the flame, it will make it darker. It was no, it wasn't a darker part of the wood. It was like literally, like, it's like as if somebody by mistake had a, like, say, a piece of cardboard or something right here, where it was like, it was it wasn't all the way through. It was like a break in the finish. So that was a mistake. I don't know how that got out of the factory, to be honest with you. Guitar Hack, I really like those Les Paul monitors that I've seen but not played. I actually like that they're not available in burst cap. Yeah, I saw that, Lost Smoke. Yeah, they're solid colors. Yeah, so there's still some color choices out there. Um, Hey, Phil Mosley Music, how are you? Brad Miller, for the cost, especially where you are at the. Yeah, I mean, I talked about this the other day. I know in the US the prices have come down a bit, but for us it's still, with taxes in Ontario, those guitars would cost us over $3,700. So it's got to be bang on. Dave's guitar, the complaint of weight relieved is absolute nonsense. Yeah, weight relieved. My heaviest guitar is my alleged weight relieved um classic, my 2018 classic with P90s. That is my heaviest Les Paul. So I don't think that I think you know what? If it's a heavy wood to begin with, drilling a bunch of holes into it, I don't think is going to make it a hell of a lot lighter. I mean, it is what it is. I think that, if you get a heavy slab, it's going to be a heavy slab. I don't think making Swiss cheese out of it is really going to, make that much of an impact. But that's just my opinion. Um, Hey, Janice is in here. How are you? Oh man, it just jumped on me. It's not a Gibson if there's no orange peel. Yeah, that's funny. Waleed, have you tried the 59, 60? No, I haven't. No, Waleed, I have not tried any of the, or maybe I tried. I don't remember if there's one I tried the other day in R9 at Cosmo. I don't know. Brian is in here. I can't remember if that was an anniversary one or if it was just I don't know. I don't remember. But I don't recall trying one. I've tried R9s before. The R9s are good, obviously. Um okay, just jumped on me. Dale Palmer's in here. Hey Dale, how are you? Dwight Bailey, welcome. Jay Shortka is in here. JJ, hey JJ K's House of Harleys. Frank Corcoran. Okay, I got a perfect Les Paul special yesterday, guitar hack from an internet order. Got lucky again. Yeah, you got lucky. Because like I just said, like let's say that I had ordered online and if I had got the first guitar, I would have been happier than a pig in poop. If I got the second one, it's like, hey man, wait a minute, wait a minute. So yeah, you got lucky. You got lucky. But again, I've talked about this the other day. If you have no choice and you got to order online, I get it. But if you have the option, obviously you should really play the guitars. Um, hey, Rick Hefner's here. Welcome. Yeah, okay, I saw that. Daniel Horsley. Thanks for popping in, Daniel. What's your opinion of the new Les Paul? I haven't played any of them, Will Varela. I haven't tried any of the new modern. I've tried the high performance, which was the modern before the modern. Not 100%, but pretty close. And they didn't impress me at all, to be honest with you. The last one I played was actually really crappy. Um, the knobs felt cheap, but I mean that's not what you're asking me, right? You're asking me about the modern. I haven't tried the modern. I don't think I've even seen a modern yet to try around here. I don't know. I actually have a I'll get into this a bit later, but I have a free weekend, believe it or not. So I might actually have time to go and search out some more of the new line and try a few more things. Yeah. Oh, Terry, totally. They should. Yeah. He's saying if they priced it as a blem, could be a good deal. Yeah. Like that would be. You know what? That would be a second. If they should knock off a- at least $500. That'd be a great deal for somebody buying a Les Paul. What kind of Les Paul is that? The one I'm holding, William Fisher. This is 2016 Light Burst. Look at the flame on this puppy. Look at that. I love this guitar, man. This is a good guitar. It's got the asymmetrical neck, so it's not a 60 slim taper. It's asymmetrical, which means that the bottom, the high string part kind of flattens as you go up the neck, so the spine kind of moves upwards. So it's a little more ergonomic. I love that neck profile. It's and I think that's the same. I think they still only offer these neck profiles now on the moderns. Uh That they've apparently bettered. Yeah, Aaron's songs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's better across the board. Okay. What the hell just oh man. All the chat just wiped out and came back. That is really weird. Okay. And I'm trying to catch up here, folks. Okay. Krellbar is here. Hey, Krellbar. Ron Limber is here. Here's my comment. Teespring is slow as shit. Dry heat 480. I ordered 3 shirts and 1 mug, and it took a month for me to get my own stuff from Teespring. So yeah, 10 days? Yeah, it was a month for me, man, to get my stuff. It was crazy. And I ordered Eric's shirt, and it took a month to get that as well. So it's a month, partially because I'm in Canada, but yeah. And they don't they print in cycles, so it's every few days. What is it? I think a cycle is a week, or is it? Oh, it's 3 days. I think it's 3 days. So they don't produce every day. It's every 3 days. I'm great, and I hope it's thank you, Dale Palmer. Yeah, I'm doing all right. As good as can be, I guess. Uh, Brian Cote, it was an RO. Oh, it was an RO. Okay. All right. It was an RO that we played at Cosmo. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I just answered the question, William Fisher. This is a 2016 Les Paul Standard. This was my 50th birthday present. This was the first Standard I ever owned. Yeah, 50 years old till I got my first Standard. I played Gibsons before, but it was like a deluxe that I had before this. So this was my first Standard. Or Signature T I had, everything but a Standard, basically. I want to try modern ebony. Yeah, Scott Nickerson, welcome, Scott. Yeah, yeah. If I find them around, I'll see if I can get in and maybe do a review of one of those. Dwight Bailey, did it sound good or no? It did. Um, it didn't sound bad. It just did not feel and play as well. I think that was the main thing. Um, okay, okay. She's a beaut. Thanks, Todd Flowers. Thank you. Yeah, this I went through 6 before I found this one. 6 Les Pauls, folks. 6 light bursts before I found this one. I had the guy take photos and email me the photos, and as soon as I saw the finish, it's like, "Okay, the burst is right on. Now let's hope it plays well." Because for this thing cost me this was almost close to 4 grand. Because that's what the prices were in 2016. So I think with taxes and all, it was about the same prices as the standards right now. The new the 60 well, the standards now, period, in Ontario. So I'm paying that kind of money, man. It's better be damn near perfect guitar. Um, I just buffered for a second as well. Okay, Crowbar, that would explain it. Thrash is here. Hey, Thrash. Quentin James, thoughts on tone sustain on weight relief guitars with all those holes and channels? The top isn't glued to the body as much as a standard model. Okay, we're getting into tone wood. How about I'm gonna leave it at this. I haven't noticed a difference uh in sustain between chambered and unchambered guitars. I haven't noticed a difference. So I'll leave it at that. Okay, just catching up, just catching up. I did see a review, Guitar Hack. It's interesting, but again, pricey. Oh yeah, they're definitely going to be pricey for sure. The moderns are probably what, another $1,000, $1,500 on top. I would imagine. I would think that's what they would be. Okay, and I've caught up. I've caught up to the bottom of the chat. So wow, 66 people. Thank you all so much for being here, man. You guys are awesome. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Nothing new. Again, just make sure that you try them. Just because they're the new line under the new management doesn't mean they're all gems because they're not. So in that regard, nothing has really changed. Nothing has really changed. Uh Punky Sphincter. Tonewood is back. Not on my channel, it ain't. No, I ain't going there. Um, so the uh the other thing I wanted to talk about was basically buying and selling gear. I was talking about this on a smoking with Hack the other day. Let me just put this down quick, folks. All right. So I am I'm in the process of probably selling a few guitars. One guitar for sure, maybe two, and selling an amp to purchase another amp. Now, the amp that I'm want to buy, now I'll put it out there, and you tell me if you think this is dumb. But what I want to do is I want to replace. I have a Marshall DSL over here, which is a fantastic amp. Don't get me wrong. I've had it for years and years. It's a DSL 40C combo. Gigged with it tons. I got videos with. You can hear the tone. It sounds great. But I would like to get the new version, which is the DSL40CR. Now, is that crazy to buy the newer version of the same amp? What do you think out there? Now, I will say this, that the new amp um, has a few different features than this one, but it's not even really a feature thing. I just want, because it's a gigging thing and this thing is so old, and I have done replaced tubes and things on this, but it's more for the reliability factor that I kind of want the newer amp. So I don't know. In order to buy the newer amp in Toronto, Canada, those amps now are selling for a little over $1,000. So to finance that, that means one guitar has to go, and I'm not going to keep this amp. I'm going to try to sell this one as well. So, but what do you think of that? Is that nuts to just replace something with the same thing? Braxel says, buy a Rev. I got one. It's great. Yeah. I I don't even know where the hell I would get a Rev around here. I don't know where Revs are sold to try one, Braxel. I'm not saying, no, I don't know where I'd even be able to try one around here. Um, Wait, having a coffee discussion. Not if it's improved. Yeah, it is improved, Tide. If it sounds better to you. Okay. It's crazy because you buy JCM 2000 DSL 50 for the same price. Is that Dave? JCM 2000 DSL 50. Is that a head? Because I'm looking for a combo. I need a combo. I got a head and cab, two heads and one cab already, but I want a smaller combo for some of the smaller places that I play. So let me know because I think that's the head. And they come up used on Kijiji every once in a while. Kijiji's like our Craigslist up here. Hey, Wizard One Music, how are you? Go for the new. Um, okay. Man, this friggin' thing is jumping. I say buy it if it floats your boat and you're looking for a newer one, less likely to fail. I'd wait to get a used. Yeah, I'm waiting for the used ones to come up. They've been out for at this point, Aaron Songs, they've been out for 2 years, and I'm still waiting to find a used one pop up, and they're not coming up used, which means they're damn good. Nobody wants to sell them, you know. So yeah, you're a gear nerd. Just do it. That's okay. Talking coffee. It's both. If I could find one in the used market up here, Dave, yeah, because a 50-watt combo would do me. I mean, this is a 40-watt combo. That would do me if I could find one up here. What if the newer one didn't last without the old one seem? Waleed, yeah, well, I get a year warranty, uh, right off the bat. So if I get a lemon, I can always swap it out. Yeah, you're gonna get yeah, Dale Palmer, you're right. Yeah. The combo to get is the JCM 800 4010. JCM 800 4010. Is that a 10 inch? Is that the 4010? Dave, is that for a 10-inch speaker or is that a 12-inch speaker? Is that what that significance of that 4010 is? Let me know. And let me know if it's a single. I'm assuming it's a single speaker amp. And what is the or is it 40-watt 10-inch speaker? Let me know what that means. Will Varela, if it has more functions, and why not? Also, what guitar are you going to sell? Yes, I am going to sell my Telecaster. The Telecaster is gone. I don't ever play it. I don't play it not because it's a bad guitar. I don't have any duds. All my guitars are good, at least for me. They're all good guitars. It's just it doesn't get played, and my rule is if I don't use it, I sell it. So I haven't gigged with that guitar. I gigged with it once last year, once, and then that's like I can't gig with this thing. Yeah, so it just kind of sits. So it sounds great. It's a American Standard Telecaster. I'm trying to remember the year. It's gotta be at least, I'm gonna say 6 years old, so it's probably 2012 maybe? Um, I'm trying to think of the pickups it's got in it. I don't know, I'd have to look it up. I think it's got a twisted telly in it. I don't know. I don't wanna say, but I'll look up all the specs and put them all down when I post the ad for it. But it's going up. It's a black maple fretboard, obviously maple neck, and it came with a white pick guard, so I put a black pick guard on it. So it's basically all black, because I like the look of the black with the chrome, not gold hardware, and I think it looks pretty cool. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Uh, oh, thanks, Dave. Yeah, send me some links, man. If I can find that stuff used around, then sure. Hack, do you own a JHS pedal by any chance? Nah, no. Um, Joe Hervey, I don't. I've tried a few JHS pedals. Um, Actually, the one that I was so close to picking up was the Angry Charlie, and I know there's a few versions of the Angry Charlie. It wasn't the Andy Timmons model. It was just the regular Angry Charlie, but it was the red one. I think it was version 2, if I'm not mistaken. Um, yeah, I was real close on picking up an Angry Charlie, but I didn't. I did not, I didn't, get one of those, but JHS pedals are great. There's one that I am really curious to try. There's something called an Angry Driver, which is like, uh, um, it's like an Angry Charlie mixed with a blues driver. So it's like a Boss JHS collaboration. I finally saw one in a store, but I didn't have time to check it out. But I'm really curious to try that pedal because it's basically like a two-stage drive pedal, and yeah, that'd be cool to try. Uh, don't do it. They'll come out with the new model on Winter NIAM 20. You know that for a fact, Quentin? Because if that's the case, then I should see a bunch of used ones come up. For the places you play, I would go for a little while so you can push the amp. I don't know, Crowbar. I've had that thing at like 6, 5, 6 volume wise. So I don't know. And the thing is, I like to have a relatively clean platform. You know, I don't think I want to run it too hot. Not for the type of material that we do. Um, you should get the new Marshall JCM 800. Oh yeah, that's just Does that come in a combo, Brian Cote? I think that's just the head. I think they just come in the head. Guitar Hack and all have the original price, but the Gibson B Explorer SG Standard are up in price. Yeah, I said this the other day. The Firebird that I bought for 13.99, I saw the exact same guitar hanging at the store, and now it was, oh, what the hell was it? It was over 2 grand. So they really jacked up the prices on a lot of their guitars. That's at Long McQuaid. I'm speaking of Long McQuaid. I don't know about the other stores. Um, it's a good rule. Okay, Phil Mosley would never sell his telly. Yeah, I get that. I get that. If anyone's got any questions for me, please tag me at Guitar Hack so I can see it right away because there's quite a few people in the chat. And it seems to be flying by me at times here. Uncle Remus is here. Welcome, Uncle Remus. How are you? Okay. I wasn't a Telly guy until yeah, the Tellys are great, man. They're good guitars. I'm not slagging them at all. It's just if something has to go, that's the one that's going to go. Bobby Clipper, get a multi-effects pedal as a spare amp. Mini models go. Bobby Clipper, there's no front of house, man. I play bars. We don't play theaters. I wish I had that. I wish we played theaters, but we just play bars, and we're usually, we carry it all, PAs and all. So we don't have that ability to do the front of the house thing. There's no house to be in front of, literally. Um, but yeah, otherwise that would work, Bobby. That would work, man. Um, okay. Okay, we got a pest. Yeah, squash that bug. Buy the gear you actually want. You don't have to buy, sell. Learn what you need. Avoid the gear list. Want that you don't have to. Oh, well, you still gotta sacrifice sometimes a monkey to buy stuff. Guitar Fish is here. Welcome. Scott Nickerson, new Marshall 800 in both. Oh, okay, so it comes in a combo. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, I'm just catching up here, folks. The chat is flying. Okay, I'm actually at the bottom. Cool, cool. Yeah, so yeah, thanks for those suggestions. So the JCM 800 combo, which I imagine would cost a ton more money, that would mean I'd have to sell even more guitars to afford that. And the JCM 2000 50 watt. So yeah, send me if you wouldn't mind, Dave. Send me those links if you haven't already. I just heard my phone go bing, and that's Dave. Just send me the links. That's awesome. Beautiful. Thanks, Dave. Okay. Oh, the dog pud just popped in. How are you? Been looking around at YouTube for an hour. No, it just came up 2 minutes. Wow, you just got the notification now. Man, we've been on for 37 minutes. Wow. So speaking of buying and selling gear, um, is there? Let me know out there what the not the best deal you've ever gotten, but what's the worst deal you've ever gotten in terms of like swapping gear to buy another piece of gear? What's the worst thing that's happened to you? I'll tell you mine, but yeah, let me know the worst deal, not the best, the worst. Heck, how much lighter is the Firebird than the Paul? Pauls are tough on my back now, but I love my 2004 standard. Uncle Remus, there's no comparison. A Firebird is shit. It's damn near as light as my SG. So you know, it's a lot lighter than a Paul. Way lighter than a Paul. If I win the lottery, I'm buying Hack an Epiphone Les Paul with a Floyd. Oh, that's awesome, Gwen. I would buy my CR40 again, even though I think that the reverb is almost non-existent. Um, yeah, the CR40. You talk about the DSL. Yeah, the reverb. I don't even use the reverb on it. I use a Hall of Fame for my reverb, so that's not an issue. Okay, play nice, folks. This is supposed to be a positive environment, right? We're all here to talk gear and all get along. It's play nice, please. Um, yeah. So what's the worst deal that you got in terms of I'll tell you mine if that'll get it going. So what happened was a few years back there was a guitar came up on a guitar came up on eBay, right? And at the time, I mean, I still am a huge obviously I'm a huge Kiss fan, right? And the guitar that came up was the one of the Paul Stanley Washburns. Not the top of the line ones because those are really expensive, but sort of the mid-price ones. And it had, you know, it was Indonesian made, right? Um, and it had that, the silver star on the bridge, and and it was from the reunion tour, right? So, and I obviously went to that tour many times. I don't know. I think I saw like God, at least 3, 4 shows of that tour. Anyway, so I wanted to get that, and I forget what the price was, but I lowballed a little bit. Like I had never done this. I've never bid on anything on eBay ever. So, I was like, an idiot about it, right? As I am about most things. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to throw in a bid. There's no way in hell the guy's going to accept the bid. And turns out the bid got accepted. The next thing you know, I'm like, I can't back away from. I'm asking around, like, am I going to go to prison if I if I don't follow through with this? And they're like, well, you kind of have to, whatever. So anyway, make long story. I bought the stupid thing, right? So I bought the guitar, And then I had to come home and explain that I just bought a guitar on eBay. And then I'm like, well, you know what? I that was a total mistake, but to make up for it, I'll get rid of one of my guitars. And this was the dumbest thing I ever did because I sold my Ibanez that I had since, oh my God, I must have had the guitar since '88. And it was an Ibanez Roadstar. It had the original Floyd on it. Um, and I had that thing for years and years, and I did, a lot of shows with that guitar. That was my backup guitar. That was when I was in the, what the Europeans call the function band, and we call the wedding band. So I did. Oh man, I must have played with that, or had either played with that certain songs, or had it as a backup. I'm talking probably around 200 shows with that guitar. So I had tons of history with that thing, right? And just sort of in a panic to make up for the money that I spent with the other guitar, I went and I sold it, and I can't remember but I really sold it. I probably could have got maybe $800 for it, and I think I got rid of it for like four or something. Like the guy that got it off me, he just hit me at the right time. He got a smoking deal, but I mean, I've bought and sold. One day I should do a show. We should. That's actually a great topic. All the guitars you bought and sold, because I've bought and sold a way, like, I'm sure you've sold more. A lot of people have bought and sold a lot more guitars than I have, but I've had my share as well. But I should do a show on that. But that is the one guitar that got away that I was stupid. It was a spur of the moment decision. I should never have sold that guitar. So that was my worst deal. And then what did I end up doing? That Paul Stanley guitar that I had, it first of all, I ain't never gonna gig with it because the thing was massive, like even bigger than the Firebird. It was just a big honking thing. And I'd look stupid playing it at a gig because it's Paul Stanley guitar. And I ended up and it played okay. It wasn't great. And I ended up selling it. Funny enough, I tried to sell it. It wouldn't go. Nobody wanted it. It took about, oh man, almost a year. And I just kept, popping it back into the Kijiji, which again is like our Craigslist. And then after about a year, a guy in a Kiss cover band, if you can believe that, I swear to you, um, bought it and is using it with his Kiss cover band. I don't know if he's still doing it. That was years ago, but that was my worst. So let me see what we got for your answers here. Angelo J. Ricchetti, do you play the States? No, Angelo. Only once I played in California. I did a New Year's gig in California. That was sort of the highlight for me. I got we were treated like rock stars. I got that experience once in my life for one weekend. So, but that was the only time. I traded an Epiphone Sheridan 2 for an Agile LP. Lost about 550 on the deal. The Epi was great. The Agile is okay. Oh yeah, that's pretty shitty. Aaron Songs, do you remember the pink Les Paul lights? Yes, I do. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, I remember those guitars. They still make something called the Les Paul Les. Well, they don't make them now, but they have made them, and I've seen them. I think up until a couple of years ago, I remember seeing them, and they're still around in the used market. And it's just like a really thin Les Paul. Not a fan. Not a fan. Oh, sorry, Will. Yeah. Oh man. Yes, I won't talk about Kiss anymore this episode. I promise you will. Uh, Waleed. ESP LTD EC400 for an Epiphone LP standard. Wow. Okay. A lot of bad deals. I did buy and sell a 12 string off eBay. Love to see a few shows of a band's tour someday. Which band, Scott? Which band are you talking about? Uh, Thrash, are you being a pain? Please don't be a pain, buddy, because I don't want to make you go away, but I will if I have to. Stupidest thing I've done is sold my 88 Ibanez 550 for 375. Am I reading that right? 375 years ago. And yes, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Those old Ibanez guitars from the 80s were fantastic instruments, man. Yeah, I wish I'd kept mine, man. I got a 93 Ibanez Sabre for 200 bucks with the case in 2004. Ended up getting 400 bucks when I sold it a couple of years later. Yeah, that's a good deal. I'm looking for the bad deals. Oh, I have some good ones too, but that was the worst one. Um, hey, Dave R's Guitars is back. How are you? I had an original gem 777. Traded it for basically nothing. I regretted it. Oh yeah, the original, yeah. Yeah. Those things never leave you when you make those bad sales. Okay. Just catching up. Okay, I'm caught up. Remember, okay. All right, what time we got? We got 8:46. Okay. So just wanted to make a couple of announcements as well, folks. A few things. I've mentioned them before, but I'll mention them again. My Tuesday night show is in hiatus. Um, I've did that show consistently since late last summer. It is a lot of work to book guests every week and not try to repeat myself. And I was already kind of doing that, and I don't really want to have people, the same people on three, four, 5 times. So, and plus it's a nuisance to keep asking the same folks to come on. So I think I'm going to put that on the back burner for now. It may come back. We'll see how things go over the summer, or I may try to rethink it, maybe do something a little bit different with that show. But for right now, my Tuesday shows are not no longer going to happen for the foreseeable future. Okay. This Thursday night thing, just me with you folks. This will continue because this is always fun. You guys always make my week. It's a pleasure. Talking to you guys, talking gear, talking music, talking whatever, stuff that's gone on during the week. So this is always fun. So this I will always keep doing. And my other videos whenever I have time. I haven't done the last video I did was the demo of that Les Paul, but I there's a few other ideas of videos I want to put out there. It's just the last few weeks have been absolutely nuts for me. So when things calm down, I'm gonna be I'll be putting out some non live stream stuff like just straight videos. So we'll those will still be happening for sure. Um, The other thing I wanted to mention is I'm also going to shut down the merch for cancer. Um, I am, at least in Canadian money, I've cracked 500 bucks. So that's a pretty good donation at this point. I'm going to let it run until the end of the month, so the end of May, and then I'm gonna stop it. And then from that point, I might just close the merch store. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but as far as raising the money for cancer, I'm gonna stop it at that point, and whatever monies I've accumulated to that point, I'll do the payout and I'll do the donation, and then I'll take screenshots. I'll show everybody how much we were able to put in to the pot there. Yeah, so that's gonna end at the end of the month. So if you're still interested in supporting um, cancer research and the by buying Guitar Hack merch. The link for that is below. So please please do that. I got t-shirts, I got mugs, hoodies, the usual stuff, right? Even stickers and stuff. And yeah, so please, if you want to support that cause, please do that. And then if you have purchased stuff and you haven't sent me a photo, because what I do is anyone that sends me a photo, I ask everyone to send me a photo, whether you bought it, whatever you bought, doesn't matter. Send me a photo, and then I'll feature it on my Guitar Hack Facebook page and my Guitar Hack Instagram, and everyone can see, and so that just to sort of show the community kind of thing. So that's always cool. So if you haven't done that yet, you haven't sent me a photo, please do. So that's also gonna so that is gonna end at the end of the month. yeah, I think that's about it at this point. Oh, and I mentioned it before. I'm really trying to get up to 1,000 subs at this point. I'm sort of floating in the 600s. I have been for probably 2 months now. So, yeah. So if you can share my videos, share this video. If you haven't subbed to me yet, please sub. Hit the sub below, and because that way I can get back to doing stuff that I used to do very easily on my phone. YouTube changed the rules on us a while back and made it real difficult to do streaming and stuff, and I absolutely hate Streamlabs. So yeah, so if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already subbed to me, please do. I do a regular weekly show, as you all know, and then I'll throw in videos here and there and stuff. So yeah, and that's about it at this point. So those are all my announcements. I want to thank everybody for popping in here. Your support is always amazing. Really appreciate it. 67 people watching. It blows my week. I kid you not. Every time I go on and I see how many of you folks actually want to look at this mug for an hour, it blows my freaking mind. And I thank you so much for checking out the show, listening to me yak for an hour. You know, you always make my week. Always do. That's why these shows are always gonna keep going because it's too much fun. It's too much fun to stop doing them. Okay, and let me get caught up here. Okay, Wes Carpenter one, welcome. What do you think of the Gibson LP Studio? You know, it's not a bad guitar. It's just a stripped down Gibson, right? Um, there's no binding on it. You got dot inlays. Um, but it's still a Les Paul. It's still American made. You know, I would, you know, if you want to get into Les Pauls, the studio is not a bad place. And because it is American made and it's a studio, it will hold its value. So I definitely go for one. If you're thinking that, I would, yeah. I got no problems with studios. But what I will say, like I say, for whether regardless of the model, make sure Wes, you try them, man. Make sure you find the right one. Try them out. Make sure it's comfortable. Make sure it plays well. You know, and go for it. The other one I throw in there too, Wes Carpenter, is the Tribute. You know, Tribute, same deal. Um, I'd look at those as well. And it's a no frills Les Paul. Thank you, Gussie. Yeah, it's not me, it's you guys. It's your support, all your support with the fundraising. Really, really knocked it out of the park, man. Really knocked it out of the park. Lars Guitar, if I haven't said hello, hello. Okay. Oh, Quentin's leaving? Okay. Have a good night, Quentin. Thanks for staying awake and checking it out. Appreciate it, buddy. Um, Bobby Lopez Guitar Hack. If money was no concern, which LP would you buy? It would be a Les Paul. It would probably be a custom shop RO Lemon Burst. So it would be a custom guitar because I don't think they make that. Or it would be or maybe one of the if they make a historic. I've said this before. Whenever I get to the age where I stop gigging, I'm still relatively healthy. I won't say young because I'm 52, but I'm healthy enough that I can still get out there and move gear and play a 3.5, 4 hour show. And as long as I can do that and I got a band to do it with and gigs to do it, I am going to continue doing that. But when I get to a point where I am no longer doing that, I'm probably going to sell most of my guitars. And what I would do is I would have maybe two, maybe three, like really, really good ones. And that's when I'd start looking at stuff like ROs and maybe PRS, God knows, right? That's when I would do that. Yeah. And actually, speaking of which, I actually have a free weekend. I am not gigging this weekend. So this for me is like, wow, I got a free weekend. And the only reason it's a free weekend is because the drummer booked it off because he's got something he's got to do. Otherwise, we'd be playing this weekend. Next weekend is a long weekend, at least for us here in Canada. And I'll be playing 3 shows in 3 days in 3 cities. I'm not kidding. So it's going to be nice to have this weekend off because next weekend for us is going to be an absolute killer. Yeah. Um, hey, Lori's Mishmash is here. Welcome. Oh man, it just jumped on me. I'm really digging the BFG. There you go, Dave R's guitar. Yeah. Yeah, there's, you don't there's good models out there. They don't have to all be standards, man. There's good models out there. Music Therapy Labs, welcome. I played a really nice double cut junior Versa tribute reboot. Wouldn't stay in tune. 3 Junior with P90 sounded great on the, but the bridge was weaker. Something volume. Okay, double cut junior. The double cut junior wouldn't stay in tune. 3 Junior with P90s. Okay, Les Paul. Okay. Yeah, if one pickup is weaker than the other, that could be just a height adjustment on the pickup, right? That's what I'm thinking. Um, yeah, like there's nothing wrong with those guitars. I mean, the P90s are always great pickups. I mean, I was last night at rehearsal. The other guitar player was playing a double cut junior with 2 P90s, TV yellow with what's that called? That pick guard tortoiseshell. It looked pretty cool, right? But yeah, nothing wrong with that. Lori's Mishmash Guitar Rack, I watched just to see if the teddy bear in the background moves. I guess it's disappointing you every week because it isn't moving, Lori. Little J1, how are you? Waleed, RO Lemon Burst is my dream guitar too. You and me both, Waleed. Yeah, I always that's my favorite finish. Yeah, that's my favorite. Mitch Heyman, welcome. What models are your Les Pauls again? Okay, currently I have a 2005 Classic, a 2018 Classic, a 2016 Standard, and a 2005 Standard. That's what I own right now. Okay. Okay, we're talking about deals on guitars. Guitarded is here. If I haven't said hello, hello. Posted a picture special. Yeah, I was thinking the height on the Les Paul Jr. Yeah. You know, um, with height adjustments on pickups, you let your ear be your guide. I mean, if you bring that guitar home, if you decide to buy it, I adjusted the pickup heights on my guitars. I just do it by ear, just raising because you'll notice if you play around with it. Heck, did you? Yeah, I did, Dave. Yeah. Okay, just threw me, Dave. Um, yeah, you'll notice that when you're playing with the pickup heights, there's going to be a sweet spot where it just sounds good. And usually, if you get too close to the strings, it sounds a little too woolly, you know. Or if you move it maybe a little too bright, but you just there's a certain sweet spot. You'll hear it, and you just adjust the two pickups till they're in the right sweet spot, so to speak, and equal in volume. Um, yeah, I know there's all kinds of specs out there. If this pickup, a Gibson pickup, it's supposed to be this far off the string and everything else. I don't pay attention to that. I just until when it sounds good to me, it sounds good to me. And one of the best sounding Les Pauls I have is the one that I adjusted the pickups on it, and you hear it right away. I mean, you just set the amp nice and clean. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. Um, okay. Guitar Hack, wish someone didn't grab the LP special and TV Yellow didn't a chance to. Okay, but yeah, yeah, that the TV Yellow is sort of that's the that's the finish, right? They all have their iconic finishes, and that's the finish for that one, for the junior for sure. Anyone live after Hack? Hey, if anybody wants to pop on, I don't know if anyone is in the community is scheduled to go live. I don't know. Played 5 nights a week back in the day. Our singer will lose his voice. The rest of us had to start singing more to help him out. Yeah, Terry Himes, we're a little concerned about that as well because not 5 nights a week, but 3 gigs in a row. So we're a little concerned about that. And all playing wise, I got a day in between. I just won't touch a guitar outside of the shows, and hopefully that'll be enough. I love the reverse wound P90s for no hum. Yeah. Also on it. Yeah. Hack did you okay? Saw that already. Guitar Hack, do you watch Game of Thrones? I'm planning on doing that. I'm waiting for the whole season to end, and then I'll watch them. Lennon the boy. Hey guys. Hey Lennon, how are you? All right. Keep your guitars high. They will never lose value. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Guitar Hack, I'm kind of interested in the standard. If you had to pick between your standard and classic, which one would you pick? Um, I don't find one being necessarily better than the other. For me, if you're talking about like not the, well, there's no classics anymore anyway. You're talking from 2019 and previous. For me, a classic is a standard. Like I don't find the classic like to be a lesser model, and I've played classics that are better than standards a lot. So it's whatever feels good and plays good to you. I wouldn't worry about it. Like I can't. So and to answer your question, I wouldn't necessarily pick one over the other. I just pick whichever one was the best because to me they're on equal footing, Mitch. But the classics are priced a little less expensive for whatever reason. Well, I know why, because they don't have all the pickup splitting and features that the standard has. But I don't really use that stuff, so for me, that's not an issue. Okay, I think I'm about ready to wrap this up. Okay, I'm just scrolling here quick to see if I'm missing anything. Okay, I'm at the bottom of the chat. Yeah, no worries, Mitch. Anytime, buddy. So, thank you all so much, folks, for checking in and checking out the show. You guys rock. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. I know I'm going to be enjoying mine. Finally get a weekend off, so I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll catch you all next Thursday at 8 p.m. if not sooner. And yeah, have a fantastic week. Thank you all for your support. Keep it positive, folks. Let's keep this community growing. Let's all support each other and let's all grow each other's channels. All right, folks. Cheers. Have a great weekend.